Happy birthday, Avery. Happy birthday, Avery. Happy birthday, Avery. Happy birthday, Avery. Birthday, Avery. I wanna say happy birthday, Avery. Happy birthday, Avery. Happy birthday, Avery. What's up? Happy birthday, Avery. I love you so much. I am so grateful that you are my son. I am so grateful that God allowed you to be in my life as your mother and as a woman, as a Black woman, as someone you can look up to, someone you can believe in, someone who nurtured you, cared for you, loved you, disciplined you from the beginning to now and to eternity. I love you with all my heart. Happy birthday. Avery turned 32 years old, y'all. So I wanted to do a live, but on Instagram, you gotta have like 1,000 followers or whatever. So, and then I have multiple pages. So I say, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do a video. Hopefully, I won't be very long. I do kind of get like off track and a little long-winded. So I'm hoping that I can make this as quick as possible, but at the same time, it be fulfilling and healing for myself and for my family. So, for those who don't know, today is a celebration for my son Avery. Today is his birthday, but it is also the day that my oldest son, Alandis, was killed. So, yes, I do have a bittersweet celebration that I have to live with for the rest of our life. And today marks Avery's 32nd birthday, and it is the 10th year, believe it or not, that my son has been not on this earth physically. So I always want to celebrate both of them because it is something that I have to allow to be separate, even though they happened on the same day. Um, there is just a different type of celebration. So, being a mother of a child who was killed on the same day as a child's birthday, there are no words that I can put into it that would explain the feeling of having that, burden on your shoulder, that ache in your heart. So I just pretty much like to speak and say what's on my mind and on my heart and what I feel, um, rather if it's politically correct or not. I just like to I like to express myself, and sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. Sometimes it makes me uncomfortable. but it allows me to transition to the next stage of my healing journey and the process of it. It's a daily task. It is not something that you can do lickety split. So you definitely have to allow yourself that grace and that forgiveness, because I did blame myself for a lot of things. But a lot of things was not my fault. And I had to separate myself from that. Um, and it allowed me to have a different perspective about who I am as a mother and the role that I play as a nurturer, as a leader, um, as a lot of first in the family of from one extreme to another, whether if it's me being the oldest of five siblings or me being a wife and a mother of three sons, first generation on my father's side. And my son Alandis, who is in the picture, he it was the first generation on both sides, my side and his father's side. So we celebrate, him and his life and the legacy that he left behind, which was a lot of love, a lot of good energy from a lot of people. Unfortunately, he had enemies. Even being a good person, he still had enemies. And unfortunately, those enemies were um, able to infiltrate and take his life. I try not to dwell on that aspect of my healing journey, but I don't ignore it. And I do not allow people to misjudge it or come up with their own scenario of what happened or how I should heal. I miss my son terribly. I think about him every day, all the time. I have not cried as much as I used to, but I still cry because the ache in my heart doesn't go away. And because of that, I have to cry it out, or it will just build up inside of me and make me sick and make me ill and, just take years off my life. And even though his life was cut short at the age of 26, I am 54 years old and I'm still here. And, he had a plethora of people who loved him very much. Um, he is a big brother, so he had siblings that looked up to him and believed in him. So it was a huge loss when he died because he was the first of a new generation and he had no children. He was not married. So it left a huge void in our lives. And that is a life that I'll never see past 26. And, grandchildren, I'll never see, you know, I'll just never see him grow old or grow into an older man. He was very young when he was killed. So I just have to allow myself that grace to know that I was incredibly blessed to have been his mother, to have had him in my life the time that I had him. I wish I could have had more time. There are a lot of things I wish I could have said and did. Um, and those are the things that I would beat myself up about. But, I have to allow myself the grace, even if I feel like, I should have did something different. The time has passed and I just have to learn from that and know that it is an experience for me, because they say experience is a good teacher. So I could teach someone else, which is why I created the Healing Journey channel, to help other moms, who go through this. Um, it's an unfortunate cancerous disease that has plagued, the United States is what I can speak for, because that's where I am. And it's every day, all the time, and it just doesn't get better. So on today, like I said, it marks the 10 years that my son has been away from us physically. And it is also my son's Avery's birthday. And I cannot thank God enough, Mother Earth and Universe, for allowing me to raise them and be their mom. Um, my boys were very well mannered growing up. And when we would, move around and stuff like that on the bus, the train, or whatever, because they were so well behaved and, definitely taken care of, physically and all of that. They were not depressed or nothing, so they had good spirits. People, strangers would, admire that and give me praises and honor and give them money. And it was always, something that I didn't take for granted, because it just let me know that I was doing a good job as a mom. Even though I had a lot of things stacked against me, I was still doing a good job as a mother. And I was very grateful for those strangers who would just give the boys money, because they were so well mannered. They didn't make a lot of noise. They just looked out the window, stayed to themselves, and just enjoyed the ride. And when they would get money, they would be grateful and say thank you. So I just want to make this video something special for both of my sons. And I cannot forget my son, Armel. He is my middle boy. We have such a, incredible story as a family. And I will go, a lot more into it when my book is released. Yes, I am writing a book. So I do want to start implementing that in my videos. The title of it is called My Name is Teresa, and I have a story to tell, from trauma to testimony. And it just gives, a better perspective of who I am, how and why I became who I was growing up, and everything in between from then till now. I'm still writing it. I'm at a point to where I I we got our first apartment, so I'm at that point. So that's like the early '90s. Still got a lot to go, but having to go back into those times and uh, rehatch those memories. Some good and fun, some not so good, but that's the balance of life. You have to take the bitter with the sweet, the good with the bad, the ugly with the pretty. So it just depends on how you handle it, how you treat yourself and the people around you. I'm not a perfect person. Lord knows I'm not. But I look at people around me and the society that I'm in, around and involved in, and I'm not so bad. I've done pretty good for myself compared to a lot of others. So I've done a lot of internal healing and a lot of external healing. It's a slow process because I had to come out of such a deep hole, but I am doing so much better now, and I'm grateful for that. So I want to do an intention um, special video for my son, Alandis. This video is a celebration for Avery and his 32 years of coming into the world and being, very smart, articulate. He is talented when he wants to be. And he's been through a lot, but he's a soldier. He's a warrior because he came from me. And I am that. And I come from another soldier, warrior, my mother. And she came from a soldier, warrior. So the blood runs deep. And I'm grateful for that. I stand in it 10 toes down and I own it and I'm proud of it. So here's to you, Avery. I love you, son. I appreciate you.
That's my name. I tell everyone it feels
great. Happy birthday. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope this touches someone, and I hope this is allowing other people to celebrate, the life and the death of your loved ones. I want to say happy birthday, Avery. Happy birthday to you. I love you. And I will see you next year for your birthday. I'll see you soon, though. Thanks, everybody. To all my subscribers, to all my followers and my listeners. Um, it's been 10 years, and I'm doing my best. I'm truly doing my best. And I just say there's more to come. And this is not it. This is not the end for me. I still have more to come. Yay!